the last 2 decades, Crime Fighters Casefile, the leading crime scene TV magazine in Nigeria, has been at the forefront of championing the campaign against all forms of crimes and social vices bedeviling the country. Through the reconstruction of case files investigated and closed by the Nigeria Police Force (NPF), the program illuminates various tactics adopted by criminal elements to perpetrate heinous crimes such as ritual killings, armed robbery, kidnapping, terrorism, child stealing, and trafficking in humans. The program also sensitizes members of the public on security consciousness on how not to fall prey to criminals. Therefore, one would expect that over the years, people would have taken heed of the various security tips on the program. But unfortunately, the rate of crime and victims of crimes is on the increase daily. Last week on the program, we told the story of a 26-year-old lady brutally assassinated by her rival over her husband's tussle in Abuja. Yet again, we bring you another chilling homicide case investigated by the Oyo State Police Command. The phrase, "the love of money is the root of all evil," is not foreign to us. In contemporary Nigerian society, greed has played a huge factor in the surge in crimes and criminalities. Many have soiled their fingers for monetary benefits, thus jettisoning hard work as a pathway to success. Get-rich-quick syndrome is the oxygen grappling the minds of some adults and youth today. The zeal to persevere through the formative stage of life and strive to attain a promising future is no longer appealing to many people.
The business of security is all-encompassing, and that it should not be left with law enforcement alone. It involves you and I. When you see something, please endeavor to say something.
With the advent of social media, the pressure to live a lavish lifestyle just to impress others is the in thing. Celebrities, influencers, and the likes display stupendous wealth online, lavishing money on luxurious cars, clothes, and houses without any tangible means of livelihood. Their forced lifestyle has led many Nigerians into internet fraud, popularly known as Yahoo Yahoo. To be successful in their illicit trade, they deploy all manners of diabolical ways to defraud unsuspecting victims of their money. Several police investigations indicate that the use of human flesh for money rituals is rising. The extent of cruelty by some people is better imagined. As strange as this might sound, the growth of the illicit industry of buying and selling human parts is evident in the countless investigations and arrests by security personnel all over the country. The young and old have been influenced by fake clerics, imams, and native doctors who prey on the desperation of these individuals to make money and encourage them to sacrifice the lives of their parents, children, siblings, spouses, or strangers. There is no limit. It would be recalled that a case of ritual killing in Ogun State involving 4 teenage boys aged between 17 and 19 sometime in January 2022 shook the country. The suspects lured and killed 20-year-old Sophia Kende, the girlfriend of one of the suspects. They decapitated her with a machete, burnt her skull, packed the remains in a sack, and dumped it in an old building. When asked their motive for committing the atrocious crime, they said they wanted to get wealth. One would wonder who these youths are trying to impress with materialistic things at such a young age. Or are they a reflection of the dysfunctional society? A society where parents, guardians, community, and religious leaders do not question the source of their children's wealth. An organization where lavish lifestyles translate into influence. We will now delve into a case cracked by the men of the Oyo State Police Command in July 2022 involving two suspects, 31-year-old Lukman Yisa and 26-year-old Usman Salami, who are now remanded in prison. The arrested suspects and two others, Mustafa and BJ, still at large in their quest to gain wealth, sent their mutual friend, 26-year-old Wale Adefabi, to his early grave sometime in August 2021. The deceased was a friend of BJ who allegedly held a grudge against the victim over money, so he conspired with other suspects to kill him and use his body parts for ritual purposes. BJ would invite the deceased, Wale, to a lounge to hang out, and Wale, who is excited to see his friend after being out of touch for a while, also invited his girlfriend Simbiat Layen Lawal to join him. This meeting would lead to a sad ending and a narrow escape from death for Simbiat, as BJ craftily lured both of them to the house of the principal suspect at Okeafi, where others joined them in carrying out the plan.
With regards to the ritual killings, upon credible information, intelligence apparatus of the command on the 21st of May 2022, we were able to apprehend one Lukman Adekunle Yisa, a male of about 31 years, and his accomplice, one Usman Salami, a male of about 26 years, who together murdered and dismembered late Wale Adefabi, aged 26 years. The deceased was visiting Lukman after losing contact for a while, in the company of his girlfriend, Simbiat. The dismembered body parts were confirmed to be human flesh belonging to the deceased, after collaborating with the University College Hospital, who conducted autopsy report on the body of the victim. With that, we were able to confirm that yes, crime was committed, somebody was killed, the body was dismembered, body parts were used by these criminals. And that is why we're going to court to ensure that justice is served on them.
On the 31st of May 2022, one Lukman Adekunle Yisa, male, age 31, was arrested by DSS, Oyo State Command, and transferred to the State CID over alleged engagement in ritual killing and also dealing on human flesh. After interrogating the suspect, he confessed that he actually deal on the ritual killing and also sales of human flesh. Further interrogation revealed, as at the time the suspect was arrested by the men of the DSS, he was found in possession of a flesh suspected to be human flesh. And he actually confessed that the flesh found on him is that of human flesh. He confessed to us that he actually killed a young man with some of his friends in Oyo town, precisely Okeafin area in Oyo. That confession led the team of investigators from homicide section, led by the 2IC, DSP Eniola Julius. We took him to Oyo, and by God's grace, we arrested about 3 people in that case. One, Usman Salami, Abdul Ghani Salami, and one Rahman Ibrahim. During interrogation, Usman Salami confessed that himself and the principal suspect, Lukman Isa, along with 2 others who are still at large, one Mustafa and one BJ, whose full names is still unknown to us. were the one that conspired together to kill the young man. As at then, the name of the deceased was not known to either the suspects or the police. Luckily enough, we have an information that as at the time the incident happened, the deceased went to this, were lured together with his girlfriend to the house of the principal suspect, Lukman Adekunle Isa. We have to send signal to the division, Ijongodo division precisely, and they transferred the case file to us, where they threw more light into the case. We now discovered that as at the time the deceased was killed, he was along with his girlfriend, and the girlfriend is an indigenous of Ise in town. We make further inquiries, and by God's grace, one Simbiat Lailawa surfaced as the girlfriend of the deceased. And she threw more light that on the 13th of August, or sometimes in August, she walked with Adesh Club, and there she met two young men. One declared interest, probably to befriend her, and they exchanged number. And since then, the young man has been, calling her.
I want to implore the good people of Oyo State that security is a collective responsibility. We want them to play their part. On our own, we're definitely going to play our part because that is what we're paid to do. What we want from them is to be vigilant. They should observe when they notice something is amiss somewhere. Report to the nearest police station. And we're going to take prompt action. This way, we can all ensure that we instill peace and security in Oyo State. As they say, if you see something, say something.
I'm Laila Simbiat. I'm from Oyo State, Ishai local government. Around last year, August, on the 13th, I was working at Adesh Hotel Club in Oyo. So I met two guys. I met two guys. Out of two, one asked me my number and I gave him my contact to him. So since then, he started disturbing me, that he wanted to see me. So, and I told him that, where is he? So he now told me that I should come and meet him, so side. And I went to the place. After some minutes, his friend came. He now introduced him to me, that this is his friend. We sat down beside the place that he said I should come. So we started discuss. After 30 minutes, two Alpha come, and his friends stand up. I don't know what they discuss. So immediately they said we should come, me and Wale. So we sat on the bike. They took us to, I don't know the area at Oyo. So after that, they started give us black powder.
When they got to the house, the deceased and his girlfriend were given tea laced with drugs as refreshment and became oblivious. While battling to remain alert, Simbiat heard her boyfriend's cry for help and struggled her way out of danger.
Suddenly, she heard a very loud voice from the deceased, like shouting for help. And she quickly picked up that there is likely danger in this place. So what she did was, she escaped through a very small window. Though she was not herself, she was not fully in her right senses after taking the substance, or what they call tea. She met a good Samaritan outside who probably saw her condition and put some questions to her, and she narrated. He quickly took her to Ijomgodu police station where she narrated the story to the police.
Still traumatized by the event, Simbiat speaks to crime fighters about what transpired on the day of the unfortunate incident.
Last year, August 13, I met Wale and his friend.
The four of them, the deceased is only a friend to BJ. That is the information the girlfriend told us, that it was the first day she met them. She met the deceased with BJ, whose name I said we did not know up to now, before he now brought in his other accomplices. BJ knew other ritualists, but this Adefabi is the innocent person among them. Probably BJ is a Yahoo boy and had been looking, the deals on rituals. And he confronted these people who are ritualists. They might have told him that they needed somebody. And he now lured this innocent victim to them, where they finally just killed him.
At Oyo, Wale asked me my phone number and I gave it to him. So later, he now disturbed me that he wanted to see me. And I told him that, where is he? So he now gave me the address. I go there, I meet him there with his friend. So we sat down, we started discuss. After 30 minutes, two Alpha comes.
This ritualist, they claim to be alphas. Sometimes when you ask them, they say they teach Arabic to children, whereas the main job they do is they are actually ritual killers.
Immediately, the two Alpha comes, his friends stand up. We are discussing together, but immediately the two Alpha comes, his friends stand up. So we don't know what they are discussing. They said, they called me and Wale that we should come. So they took us to one house. They give us tea. After that, they started give us powder 3 times. So we used the powder. They locked me in one room. So I'm hearing Wale voice that please help me. So I now small window. So I push it. So I don't know how I escape. But when I escaped, I saw one man. The man said I should relax. So after some hours, the man took me to police station.
Simbiat could not locate the place where this had happened, although this incident happened in 2021 August. It would take 11 months before the details of what had transpired was discovered in July 2022.
At that time, she said she couldn't get herself, and as such, she would not be able to trace the scene where that incident happened. She could not be able to narrate where the incident happened, so the police found it very difficult to trace the scene. And since then, the matter had been under investigation until State CID took over from the DSS when they brought the principal suspect.
The suspect also narrated their roles in the murder while they were paraded by the State Commissioner of Police, CP Adebowale Williams, at the command headquarters Eleyele Ibadan on July 6, 2022.
The principal suspect has already taken us to where the incident happened. 2 of the suspects, the principal suspect is Lokman Adekunle Yusuf and Usman Salami, confessed to the crime.
It had taken 11 months, but the truth was finally uncovered, and the truth of what had happened to Simbiat's boyfriend was discovered.
I don't know what happened to him. I later knew that they killed him.
After the killing, these rituals, that is the Lukman, Usman, Mustafa, and BJ, all of them are ritual killers. After the killing of the deceased, whom we later discovered that the name is Wale, that is the name of the young man they lured before they killed him. After the killing, they butchered him as they wanted. Everybody take his own part that he wants to take. So that is how they shared the young man's flesh before the principal suspect was arrested by the DSS, just over an information about his activities in Oyo. These suspects actually confess they don't have any business than ritual killing and sales of human flesh. And this Usman and the two people at large are syndicates. They specialize in killing innocent people and selling their flesh to ritualists. That is the business they do in Oyo. That is the activities they engage in. But before the arrest of the principal suspect, one of the suspects, the person we treated as a suspect, was not really a suspect. He was instrumental to the arrest of the principal suspect by the DSS. So automatically, he was an informant. But the DSS never told the police that this is what happened until we picked him up before the DSS said this is the person they used to make the arrest. Now, the one that is instrumental to the arrest of the principal suspect was released to the DSS. Then the other one too was the two suspects who confessed to the crime were charged to court, while we are still looking for Mustafa and one BJ who are still at large.
Our advice is that members of the public should have absolute trust in the police. We should actually see the police as our friend. When there are information that borders on security or lack of it, we must report, promptly to the nearest police station. And we must have confidence in the police. We don't have any other thing that can safeguard our interests as far as security is concerned. So every member of the public should take it as a personal responsibility to report whatever becomes untoward at any level to the nearest policeman, so that at the end of the day, everybody can go home and sleep soundly with our two eyes closed.
Investigation of a crime, particularly a homicide case, could take an extended period. But with various technologies, investigators uncover new leads and provide justice for victims. Till we come your way again next time, remain security conscious.